Alright guys, it is me, Talliburr, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how I make chimerism happen. The thing you should know about chimerism is that it is when two genotypes come together to make one phenotype. And the genotype is basically just the genetic string of information that is in an animal's, genes. And for Tokotas, it just means that you're going to have two phenotypes on one coat, which is basically how chimerism works, generally speaking. And for that, what I'm going to do is make two designs, two separate designs, and we're going to have them in one file here. And so as you can see, the one here is a marked collared graying tawny with accents. Very simple. Took me less than 5 minutes to design. This is something that anybody could do. And the second genotype, as you can see, is a marked collared brown with accents. Another very simple design that anyone can do themselves. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it so that basically we take one of the base coats and we erase it away so that you can see the second base coat or the second design underneath the one above it. And for me, I usually take the lighter color and just erase it away in the same way you would with piebald, so that you can see the brown coat underneath. And so that means I'm going to take this layer, I'm going to uncheck preserve opacity, and I'm just going to erase away little spots in it so that you can see the brown coat underneath. And if I erase away in certain spots, you're going to be able to see different design aspects. So like if I erase away on the ear here, you're going to be able to see the accents and the base coat on the brown genotype. Very simple, took me no time at all. And, you know, you could pretty much call it a day here. Personally, I would go back in and add some little fur textures. And just make it look, you know, nice and clean and put together. And like everything fits and is where it belongs. And really, you can pretty much stop here. This could be your whole design, and that would be totally okay. But for me, I often like to go a little bit more crazy and make it so that you can really tell just how much of a chimera this animal is. And to do that, I'm just gonna, you know, erase away more spots and just show off that brown coat underneath and make it look really interesting. And, you know, you can make a bunch of round spots, you can make a lot of fur texture heavy spots, and I think for me, I'm going to do a little bit of a mixture of both just to give it some character. And as you can see, that's, you know, a pretty simple chimera there. Nothing too crazy. It didn't take me very long at all. And it generally looks pretty okay. You can, however, make some really complex looking ones. This is one of the ones that I did for Ocean Freezy. You can see that it's a very heavily edited line work. So you can see that there's lots of line editing there, and we're just going to ignore all of that. What we are going to pay attention here are the two folders marked D1 and D2. D1 and D2 are Design 1 and Design 2. I did two completely separate designs on top of each other, and I just took them and erased the base coat away so that you could see the base coat underneath. So for this one, there is a whole lilac black genotype over top of lilac brown. And if you look closely at the whole design, you can see that there is a string of genes here that I had to fill in. And this is very complex. It was very time consuming, but I used the same method here as I used on this kit. I just designed two separate genos, and I just erased one of the base coats away so that you could see the other one underneath it. It looks a lot more complex than it actually is. And I'm going to show you this base design right here. And it's relatively simple. It's, you know, marked, collared, lilac brown, pangier, accents, barring, saddle, blanket, merle, liver points, star marks, vitiligo. I think that's it. And, you know, it's really not that crazy by itself. And then the second one was a similar geno here, except it's lilac black, and it also has piebald. And we're going to ignore all of that. You can see where it's been erased away, and I know it looks crazy on the background, but you can see where it's erased away. It's a lilac black coat, and it's got barring, collared, piebald, vitiligo, star marks, accents, pangier, merle, liver points, and you know, there might be a couple of genes in there that I missed. But all I did was make two separate designs, and I just erased the black away like you would with a white piebald, just to let the second design show through. It looks really crazy, but the end product it's nice. It looks fine, and you know, it's not as crazy as you'd think it would be to do, just the process in general. It looks a lot more complicated than it actually is. And I will say, though, that this is just my method. There are other ways of doing it. I am not saying that any other way to design it is wrong, but this is the way that I do it. And I also feel like it's very beginner friendly. So if anybody wants to do this, I feel like they can if they just put their mind to it. It's a little time consuming because you are designing two full Tokotas, essentially. And you're just taking the one and, you know, getting rid of the parts that you don't want to be shown. And I think the end result is really nice and appealing. And you can make it as simple or as complex as you want, and the end results will still be great and easy. And really, that's my whole tutorial on this. I don't really have a whole lot else that I do that's really fancy. I mean, I'll go in and I'll do flesh tones. I really like to select tones that are sort of reflected in the base coat here. So I'll go back and select colors I like and just blend them together and make them look nice. And, you know, for eye colors, sometimes I'll do heterochromia, which is, you know, two-toned eyes. But I think something very simple like that is also nice as well. And really, that's it. I just will color the line work, put a halo around it, and I'll call it a day. That's the whole design. And it's not really, like I said, it's not very hard. It's kind of simple, really. You just sort of treat it like you would treat piebald. And you'll get a nice end result. All right, that's it. Bye.